Hello everyone. So today we are going to implement this kind of fortnite stylized landscape with this landscape grass output. So now as you can see here, this grass output is taking the color from the ground, and so it is blending nicely. So here also this area is kind of yellow, and the landscape is also yellowish. And here this is the dirt layer. In the dirt layer we don't have any grasses, but as it blends with the grass or green layer, you can see the grass appears. And also closer to the dirt layer, the grass is more brown, closer to the dirt color. So this is what we are going to work on today. So the goal is to create somewhat similar to Fortnite grass shading and a landscape. And this episode is sponsored by this generous patron. Thank you very much for your support. Okay, so this is just a blank map I have created in Unreal, nothing else. Alright, so let's get started with our landscape. First I'm gonna delete this one, and I don't need this too. Right, let's go to mods, landscape, and here with these default settings I'll create a landscape like this. Right, now as you can see there are some lines. That's because this we are using stationary lights. I'll make it movable, and I'll increase the intensity to 6 because I kind of like that level of lighting. Okay, and yeah, this is wait. Okay, so this is our landscape. Now let's go ahead and do some sculpting. Well, actually not that important, I just want to have some shapes, otherwise it looks boring. Okay, I guess this would be enough. Let's set some erosion too. Okay, this is better, good enough. All right, now let's create a material. I have this materials folder. If you don't have one, you can create one. That's not, right click, new folder, and material. I'll call it landscape. Okay, then open this. So all I need is some landscape with couple of layers. So how can we do this? Okay, for the base color I'll do a layer blend, this landscape layer blend node, and here I'll define 4 layers. Right, one is I'll call grass, and the next one I'll call dirt, and the next one I'll call rock. I think that would be enough. Yeah, we don't need 3 layers for now at least. Okay, now let's promote this to a vector parameter. Grass color. Duplicate it with Ctrl W and name that one dirt color. Duplicate that again. Let's call it rock color. Alright, so connect it like this. Okay, so since I am referencing Fortnite landscape as a reference, let's use this image. Oh, actually any image would do. Yeah, let's use the previous image I used as a reference. So for that I'll drag and drop it here. Cool. Now I need to set the colors. So for the grass color I'll use this eyedropper tool and click somewhere like this. Oh, is that the color? Okay, I think that color would do. Actually it's kind of a blend, so maybe not exactly that color, but that's okay. We can change it later because these are parameters. So for the dirt, similarly I'll pick this color. For the rock, I'll pick whatever the color here. Okay, alright, apply. Now let's drag and drop this no, let's create no need to create a material instance. Let's use this landscape material for the landscape. Okay, so it's black, so that's because here as the preview weight I have put 0 for all the layers, so I'll set 1 for the grass layer. Oh, let me save this map. Night. Okay, but it's still this is black. Right, let's go to the landscape and paint. Alright, so here we need to create layer info files, so I'll add a with blended layer info for each layer. Okay, now you can see the color is coming to the landscape. Okay, but everywhere is green as expected. So yeah, actually that's because we haven't painted any other colors. So here I'm not going to do something like a slope based layer blending or anything, because I'm gonna keep using I'm gonna rely on painting. So actually I need to show how to get the look, not really concerned about the painting. So for example, let me change the brush settings to fall off. Let's set it to 2, and with the brackets I can reduce the radius. So let's draw something like a road. Oh wait, we need to select, so I'll select dirt. So this is something like a road. Wait, what was the tool strength? I'll set it to 1. Okay, here we have a road, a very simple one. And also let's have some rock. I'll set the fall off to 6. Actually rocks are not required, they look ugly, so I'll remove it for now, but you know how to paint them. Okay, so what's next? Yeah, also we can see some lighter grass areas too. So for that, well, actually we can use the same to achieve that effect, the same dirt layer with let's say 0.2 strength, like this. I can paint some random areas to get that look. Actually it doesn't really give the look as needed, but that will do for now. All we need is some different color changes, noises. Okay, so yeah, so the next thing is adding grass. So how do we add grass? Let me save first. Right, let's go here. Grass output, landscape grass output. Here we can sample layer, landscape layer sample. Okay, so here I'm gonna sample grass color. Sorry, not grass color, the grass, the layer name is just grass. Yeah, and then from that I'm gonna subtract another layer sample dirt. I'll use that as the input for the grass type. Now as the grass type we need to assign one, but we don't have anything. But I have already imported a grass mesh. I haven't created the material yet. So here let's create under foliage landscape grass type. Here let's add a new one, and as the grass mesh I'll give this grass mesh I have here. Okay, default settings would do. Now we can assign the landscape grass type. Let's see. Compiling. Okay, now we have the grass, and yeah, okay, now for now let's create a new material for the grass. oh sorry, let's create it in the materials folder. M grass. So for the grass I have imported this texture, kind of a stylized looking texture. So I'll just drag and drop it here. Actually this is not going to be the final color. I'll set the blend mode to masked and connect alpha layer like this. And let's assign this material for the grass. Okay, it looks bad, I know. Also it looks shiny. Let me promote these two parameters. I'll set specular to 0.2 and roughness to 0.8. Okay, so now the next step is I want, so as you can see they are not really blending with the ground, but in Fortnite you can see actually the grass has almost the same color as the landscape. See, almost the same color of the landscape. So how do we get that effect? Okay, so for that first I'll go to landscape. No, so we need a way to sample the landscape color. So for that let's go to the top view. Right, so here we can actually generate a texture to sample the landscape color. But usually if you are using something like Houdini or World Machine or something to generate these color maps, you can generate the color map from that software itself. But here I'm not using any of those, so I'm just gonna take a screenshot like this. So here I'll hide the grid, I don't need it. And yeah, make sure you are in unlit mode, because if you're in lit mode there should be some color changes based on the lighting, but lighting is going to affect the grass mesh anyway, therefore it's better to get the screenshot in unlit mode. So I'll take a screenshot like this. If you don't know how to take a screenshot, press the console button in the top left under the ESC, and high press shot. Here you can use 1, it represents like a resolution multiplier. Now click here, so it will open the folder where the screenshot is saved. Now go to Photoshop or any other photo editing software you have. No, and create a new file. I'm gonna use, yeah, is this enough? Let's create a 4K texture, maybe not required, no, 2K texture. Right, now drag and drop this texture. You just took a screenshot Okay, now select only the green area and delete the rest. Oh. Oh, what's this? I'm not sure what that is, but it wouldn't matter. It would be a far point in the landscape, so I'll just leave it. Okay, now make sure it fits the whole texture exactly, otherwise you will have differences in between the color of the grass and the color of the land. Now save this. Save this as a PNG. I'll call it landscape color map. Okay, now go to the folder where you saved that and import it to the project. Now go back to perspective mode. Let's import it here. Right, so how do we get the same color for the grass as the landscape? Okay, so for that step, let's again go to the grass material. So here drag and drop this landscape color map. So we are going to sample the location of this particular grass mesh instance location in the world space using this texture. So for that we can get world position. So this will give the position in the world space of the particular pixel that we are going to render. And from this, actually this is a 2D texture, so we only need two-dimensional X and Y. So we can mask this, and yeah, by default you get R and G. So okay, so I think 0 0 means here and 1 not see, yeah, 1 1 means here, as I remember. Yeah, let's see. Okay, now here in the middle, actually that is the middle of the landscape, but if you select the landscape you can see this corner is the origin of the landscape. It is in the location of this minus 25,200. So for the sampling process we have to consider that part. So we have to subtract it. Constant 2 vector 25,200, that's the value, right? Yeah. Okay, now we considered the offset, and then so this texture should should be mapped into the complete breadth of the landscape. So for that, when we consider the world position, we have to divide this by the size of the landscape. So this is this top left and not the top left. So this is this corner. So from 0 to here we have this size minus 25,200. So the complete height width this length and this length is double this amount. So that means scale, let me promote this to a variable. So actually we don't have to change it unless we are changing the landscape. So the scale is double the 25,200. That means 50,400. Yeah. Okay, so now we have the UV coordinate of this texture we need to sample. So for now I'll just directly connect this RGB value instead of the base color we got from this texture and apply. Okay, now let's go here. Right, it already starting to look good. But as you can see, we can clearly see the edge of the grass. And we have this difference in color. That's because of the face that is facing the sun. The light is more lit and the back face is more dark. So should we get rid of that? If I got rid of that, we should be able to minimize seeing this margin. Okay, there is a simple trick to do that. Here when you select the main node, there is an option called use tangent space normal or world space normal as an input. So I'll disable this and I'll promote this normal to a vector parameter. It should be normal, and here I'll set it to 0 0 1. That means normal is facing upwards, so it's same as the landscape is facing upwards, so it should have the same lighting. See, now you don't really see the difference. This difference comes from the shadows, and it kind of looks odd. Do we have shadows in Fortnite grass? Not sure. I don't think they have shadows. Yeah. So we can disable shadows. In here. Now we barely see the grass because of disabled shadows. Okay, so how do we improve? But you can see the grass color is nicely blending with the landscape. Actually, it's really hard to see at some cases. It is visible only when we have some shadows. Let's add some objects to the scene so we can see the effect nicely. What's here? I don't know. Okay, see, in the dark areas we can see the grass nicely. Okay, so what else we can do to improve the look of the grass? Is the scale correct? Right, we can do one more thing. Here in the grass we can blend with this texture like this. We can linearly interpolate this color, this texture color, and the result color of this sampling. So this alpha. So for the lower part I need to have the ground color, and as I go up I need to increase the percentage coming from this texture. So for that we can use texture coordinate, and here I only need the vertical value of the coordinate. So we can do a component mask. So since this is a 2D texture, I get only R and G, that means X and Y. So here I only need the vertical part, that means Y. And if I just connect it like this, you will see a linear change from this color to this color as the this color to this color as the texture goes from here to here. If I apply it, you can see now the base has the ground color and upper part has the texture color. Okay, I think I should have some random yellow patches of grass too, because only this part, this dirt part is not enough. So shall we add another layer? Oh, before that let's add some wind. Simple grass wind as the additional world position offset. I'll give, just connect some value. No, alpha. Actually I don't think. Let's see how it looks and decide. Intensity, let's try 0.1. Wind weight also 0.1, and wind speed 0.2. Apply. Do you see the movement? I don't see any movement. What values we should use? Let's try 0.2, and for the wind weight 0.2, and for the wind speed also 0.2. Alright, now we can see this is moving. Okay, I think that's enough. A subtle moment. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. I think it would be better to have more from the ground color and less from the grass color. So instead of linear blending, we can have an exponential blending. So we can use a power node here, and as the exponential, let's promote this to a parameter. Let's use something like, if it is 0, it will always have the ground color. See, if it is 1, it will be like this. If it is 1.5, be like this. Let's try this value and see how it looks. Okay, I think that's better. Shall we make the grass a little taller? Let's reduce to 300 and scale is set. It's uniform. Let's try to minimum 1.6, maximum 2. So we can have some randomization. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, so for some, yeah, now let's see how to add some yellow grass patches. So for that, I think we need another landscape layer, or we can just go here and paint too, but let's do with the landscape. Let's add another layer. Let's call it dead grass. And let's change this to dead grass color. Let's change this to yellow. Right, now let's sample dead grass layer 2. And add to this. Right, now here we will let's paint the dead grass layer. For that, why it's not showing up here? Do I have to refresh or something? Okay, let's try reloading the level. Alright, now we have the layer. So for the dead grass, I'll add another weight blended layer. Oh, I can't have spaces. Okay. So for now, I'll disable the grass because I need to be able to see the land underneath. Okay, let's paint some yellow patches randomly. Like this. And I'll hide these cylinders. Let's again go to the top view, unlit, hide the grid. This was the one visible before. Okay. Okay, high res shot. Go to the folder. I guess it was this. Select only the landscape. Hide this part. Okay, save again as the landscape color map. And since we have already imported the color map, we can just re-import it. So it will have the updated one with the yellow parts like this. Okay, now just go here and set it back to 300. See, and also make these visible. Now we have this yellow grass patches also over there. See, we have the color variation we wanted. Okay, so I think we can stop this episode right here. So we have a nice looking stylized grass. Okay, right, that's all. So maybe later on we can do some stuff like adding some textures to this dirt layer and to the ground layer, grass layer. Add some textures and make it look more detailed, but I'm not going to do that here. So as always, project files will be available for the download through Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And thanks for watching. See you in another episode. Goodbye.